Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to the Alertus Server Release 2025 webinar. My name is Brooke Petrozelli, and I'm a training specialist here at Alertus. And today we're joined by Sarah Gillum, another training specialist here, Ben Brewer, Director of Product, and Gary Elgamil, Director of Software Engineering. We will be running through all of the new and improved features and functionalities of the newest version of the Alertus software, and we'll be sure to save time for questions at the end of the presentation. Please note that the Q&A functionality is also available during this session, so please feel free to utilize that if you prefer to submit your questions along the way. We also will be sharing these slides in our follow-up email after the webinar. The team's contact information will be available on the last slide, should you wish to follow up on any system-specific questions or needs as well. And during our time together today, we are going to cover new features, which are exciting additions to our system, the console user interface or UI improvements and maintenance available with this update to make your experience smoother and more intuitive, the rapid response console or RRC updates, and then special notices, including important announcements. So jumping in, when you log into your Alertus console for the first time after updating your software, you will see a pop-up screen that lists the newest features. There is a click here button that will provide a full list of the changes and upgrades as well. And I'm going to throw it over now to Sarah, who's going to take us through these three first new features. Go ahead, Sarah.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brooke. So we're going to start by taking a look at the three new features with this upgrade: the alert display, Axis strobe siren support, and also the Algo phone call alert service. And in the following slides, we'll be sure to go through each of these individually. So please remember to put any questions that you have in the Q&A chat box. But the first new feature, the alert display, marks Alertus's exciting entry into digital signage solutions. While its primary function is emergency notification, the alert display also offers versatile support for schedulable content when idle. So you can use the alert display to enhance safety and communication within your organization by providing a prominent display for both critical alerts as well as daily information. The alert display ensures that your messages are seen whether it is during an emergency or just a routine announcement. Some use cases include entryways. The alert display could be used to welcome visitors, display daily announcements, and provide immediate emergency guidance upon entry. The alert display would also be useful in a cafeteria or break room to share menu information, upcoming event information, and also display critical alerts in high traffic areas. Additionally, the alert display would perform well in a lobby or waiting area. It offers engaging content like live news via RSS feeds. It can also display local weather and again provide emergency instructions. This solution can be deployed on dedicated Alertus hardware, and please note that alert display devices are licensed individually. Next, we'll clarify some key terms for the alert display. So a layout refers to the visual content that is shown by the alert display client. Alert layouts are displayed when a notification is active, while idle layouts are displayed when no alert is showing. A playlist is a collection of these idle layouts, along with their schedules that will be displayed on the alert display when it is in an idle state. And registration is the process of connecting an alert display to your Alertus server. And an authorization code is the security measure used during this registration process. And when your alert display is not showing an alert, you have several engaging idle layout options. You could display a simple clock with the current date and time. For visual content, you could choose an image for a full screen image or video to play a YouTube or HTML5 video. The weather option provides daily forecasts or current conditions for US locations. And you can also embed a website, provided it's allowed by the website's content security policy. And additionally, we offer 4 distinct designs with RSS support, which is helpful for displaying live news and current updates. You could select clean for a split text/image layout, spotlight for a modern design with 4 arrangements, stationary for a modern design with an accent color, and pattern for a geometric design. And now we'll take a look at some examples of each of those layout types. So here you can see an example of the clock idle layout. The clock style, background, and text color are all customizable. This next layout is an example of the image layout. And here is a screenshot of the video idle layout. This is currently displaying a video from the Alertus YouTube channel, and you're able to paste the video URL and also determine if you'd like to enable audio on the alert display. Here is an example of the weather idle layout. You can display both daily and hourly forecasts for US locations. Other style options also let you display a clock with the current weather or highs and low temperatures for the week. And here's an example of the website idle layout. So you are able to embed content from a third-party website like Google Slides for this example. So for this screenshot, we did set up a Google Slide presentation to automatically play on the alert display. And here's a screenshot of one of the slides. There is also the clean idle layout with a split text/image design, as you can see here. And this layout can display either custom text or content from an RSS feed. And once again, leveraging an RSS feed is helpful for displaying live news or updates. You'll simply paste the URL of your desired RSS feed into the layout settings. And here's an example of the Spotlight idle layout, a modern design with 4 arrangements to choose from. There's overlay, split, full screen, or ticker. And this layout can display either custom text or also content from an RSS feed. Here's an example of the stationary idle layout, a modern design with an accent color. The accent color, background image, and logo are all customizable. And again, the stationary layout can also support content from an RSS feed or just display custom text. And then finally, here's an example of the pattern idle layout. You can select pattern for geometric designs with patterned backgrounds. Again, this layout does also support content from an RSS feed. So next we're going to take a look at the setup process in order to set up the alert display on your Alertus server. The first step is to establish an authorization code, and you'll do this by navigating to the Configure System section in your Alertus console and selecting the new alert display page. And from there, you'll click on Global Settings and then proceed to set your desired authorization code. And then moving on to step 2 of the alert display server setup, you'll want to create a new alert layout. To do this, you'll be again under Configure System on the new alert display page. And in the device layout section, you'll click Add Device Layout and then specify the desired content and appearance for the alert layout before clicking Add. And for step 3 of the alert display server setup, you'll create the alert display alert service. To do this, you'll navigate to the alert services page in the Alertus console and create a new alert display alert service. And this alert service will allow you to specify a number of settings, including the alert layout, the alert audio, and also the audio play count. And this alert service can then be added to any alerts that you'd like to also activate your alert display. So now we'll log into the Alertus console to take a look at the new alert display page together. So I'm going to come to my other tab here where I'm logged into my console, and I'm going to open up the Configure System section and come to the new alert display page. From here at the top, you'll click the Global Settings button where you'll be able to set the authorization code that will allow your alert display to connect to your Alertus server. And then if you scroll down on this page, you'll be able to see any registered alert devices or alert display devices in this section. So I can see that I have one listed here, and you can click Edit to update the device settings. And similarly to other Alertus devices, you can also add alert displays to groups from this page. And then if we keep scrolling down, this device playlist section allows you to manage the device playlists, which are the sequence of custom layouts that will be displayed when your alert display is in an idle state. I just have the default playlist, but you can add as many as you'd like, and then you can click Edit to manage the layouts that will be included in the playlist. You can add as many as you need here. You can also set the duration for how long each layout will be displayed, and you can also click and drag them if you do want to reorder the layouts. And then the final section on this page is the device layout section. This is where you're able to add, edit, or remove device layouts. So you can see I have a number listed here for both alert and idle layouts. And I can click edit to show you some of the settings. For this alert layout, for example, you're able to pick from a number of templates that you can preview down here. So all of the settings are very customizable. And once you select the template that you'd like to use, you can scroll down to see some more customization options. So for example, you're able to change the colors, you can change the text. So it is very customizable and can be branded to fit your organization. Go ahead and hit cancel for now. And those are all of the settings on this alert display page. But while we're here, I did also want to take a quick look at the new alert display alert service. So I'm going to click into the alert services page to find the alert display alert service that I created. I'll click edit to show you the settings, but it will allow you to give the alert service a name, and then you're able to specify the alert layout that you'd like to use during an emergency. And then you can set a number of audio settings here. You could have text to speech to have the alert display read your alert message out loud, or you could pull in a specific audio file for the alert. And you can also include pre-wave or post-wave audio if you want to have a beep or chime play before or after the alert. And now I want to head back to the slides here to talk a little bit more about the alert display device registration process. So the first steps involve physically connecting a USB mouse and keyboard, powering on the alert display, and ensuring that it's connected to the internet. Then you'll want to set the current date and time zone on the device. And then once those initial steps are complete, you'll open up a web browser on the display and navigate to your hostname / alert display. And your Alertus server hostname is just the URL that you would go to access your Alertus console. And you will then complete the device setup process to register your client with the Alertus server. And finally, you'll want to set the default URL or home page for the built-in browser on your alert display to ensure that the application restarts automatically if the sign is restarted. And upon successful registration, an alert display device will be automatically added to the Alertus system. And like I mentioned previously, similar to other Alertus devices, the alert displays can be assigned to groups, and their status can also be viewed in the device status report. So I'm going to head to that URL so that we can walk through the registration process together. I'm just going to open up a new tab here to view the alert display. So I have mine already registered, but I'm going to unregister the device quickly so that we can walk through the setup together. But first, it will prompt you to put in the authorization code and then hit authorize. And the next step will ask for the device name. For now, I'm just going to name this Skillum Alert Display and then hit continue. And then you're able to assign the alert display to a location. I'm going to assign it to Alertus HQ, and this location is very helpful for displaying weather information accurately. I will hit continue, and then the next option is where you can assign the alert display to groups. For now, I'm just going to put it in my test group, but all of the groups on your Alertus system will show up as options here. And then I'll hit continue. You're able to select the playlist you want to use. I just have the default on my system, but any playlist that you have created will show up as options here. And then I'll hit continue again, And now my alert display is registered, so it's going to go through that idle playlist. Right now it's just showing the current date and time. And then I do also want to send an activation to show you what that will look like on the alert display. So I'm going to come back into my Alertus console here and just come to the custom activation page. For now, I'll just send out a system test message, and I'm going to send it to my alert display. So I will want to pick that alert display alert service. And you can still hit the plus sign here if you did want to update the layout or any of the audio settings. And then I'm going to choose my recipients. I'm just going to send it to my one alert display device that I can see showing up here. And then I'll hit continue, confirm that it looks good. I can see that it's online, and I'll click send to go ahead and send out that activation. We can see there's an active alert, and then I'll be able to come to the alert display page here so I can see what the alert will look like. I can also hear the text-to-speech audio as well.
No action is needed.
And I could let this go until the alert expires, or I can just come back to cancel it early.
The alert is
So
emergency.
now that I've canceled the alert, I can see there's no longer any active alerts in the system. And if I come back to the alert display, I'll see that it will go back to that idle playlist. Awesome. So that was a lot of information about our new alert display. I want to take some time now to take a look at our second new feature here, the Axis Strobe Siren support. This significantly enhances our Axis audio integration by now also incorporating visual alerting capabilities. So we now support visual alerting for both the D4200 VE strobe speaker and also the D4100E strobe siren, including both Mark I and Mark II models. And please note that this integration is also licensed per device. So to configure these visual alerts, you will first navigate to the Alertus console, click on Configure System, and then select the Network Audio page. And here you'll add a new network audio device. For the manufacturer, you'll select Axis, and for the model, enter either D4200 VE or D4100E. And then you'll want to connect the Axis to the Axis speaker to determine the settings that you'd like to use during the alert. And then finally, you'll navigate to Configure System and then Alert Services to create a new Axis Strobe Siren alert service where you can select your desired visual settings. And I do have a screenshot here of that alert service. It will allow you to activate the strobe, like I mentioned, with various patterns and colors. And you also have the flexibility to customize the speed, intensity, duration, and priority of the visual alerts to best suit your needs. And this screenshot highlights the various fields that can be customized in the Axis Strobe Alert Services settings. And our third new feature is the Algo phone call alert service, which allows users to send alert audio, either text-to-speech or pre-recorded, to SIP phones by dialing a specific extension or call group. Before utilizing this new feature, the Algo device must first be added to the network audio page in your Alertus console. And we currently support several Algo devices, including the ones that you can see displayed there, the 8189 surface mount speaker, the 8180 wall mount speaker, the 8189 PoE ceiling speaker, and also the 8186 IP PoE horn. And this new Algo alert service allows you to leverage one of those Algo IP devices to initiate a phone call with custom audio to a specified extension or extensions. Note that the number of extensions must at least match the number of Algo devices. So for example, 3 Algo devices would be needed to dial 3 extensions. And the Algo phone call alert service settings are highly customizable, allowing you to specify the Algo devices used, the extension or extensions to call, the alert audio, whether text-to-speech or an audio file, the alert audio play count, and also the replay delay in seconds. And I have an image here that is showing the Algo SIP call flow. So first, the user will specify the extension to dial, the desired alert audio, and other critical alert information in that algo phone call alert service settings. And then when that algo phone call alert service is included in an active alert, the Alertus server then initiates an API call to the algo IP speaker. And following this, the algo IP speaker will initiate a SIP phone call to the designated extension, and this allows the SIP phones at that specified extension to play the alert audio for the desired recipients. And now I'll throw it back over to Brooke to discuss some other Alertus console improvements and maintenance. And Brooke, I think you're still muted.
Thank you. I was muted. Perfect. Well, I am sharing my screen. I see that correctly at least. But thank you so much for covering that, Sarah. Next, we'll cover key improvements and maintenance updates. We'll discuss the new Alertus console help menu and the custom SMS text field added to the AlertAware custom activation alert services. Additionally, we'll review the new email notifications that can now be enabled, enhancements to our activation and acknowledgement report graphs, and obsoleted alert services. So a new help menu marked by a question mark in the upper right-hand corner has now been added to the Alertus console. This menu provides links to external documentation, including resources for product support and for training. You also can find the link to schedule your server upgrade here. Please note that the schedule server upgrade link does require an active Alertus licensing and support contract, and also log into the customer portal is necessary to submit a support ticket. So let me show you in the console where that lives now. As you can see, I'm logged in, and then up here in the top right corner, there is a new icon with a question mark. And if I click that, all of these are clickable. So if I want to schedule my server upgrade, that will take me to the page to do so here. If I want to access the customer portal or request a training, or look at any of our previous Power Lunch webinars for the training team, I can come here, make sure that I'm logged into the customer portal, and get all of this access as well to these videos. So lots of different resources here that are helpful, and we highly recommend you all taking advantage of this easily accessible menu to familiarize yourself with these resources. Next is the AlertAware integration custom SMS text. As of right now, AlertAware limits SMS messages to 160 characters. So with this in mind, we've introduced a brand new SMS text field in the AlertAware custom activation and AlertAware custom activation LDAP alert services. So this addition lets you craft a more concise, impactful message specifically for SMS, ensuring your audience gets the vital information they need, even when your full alert is more detailed. To keep your interface clean and efficient, the custom SMS text field is only displayed when the delivery methods include SMS. So when I go in here now and I come down to configure system and I add in an alert service, I will be able to then pick an alert service that is for AlertAware, either custom activation or custom activation LDAP. And when I select that, I can set up all of my settings and pulling in my delivery methods. If I select voice, I will not get the SMS text, but if I do select SMS, you'll see that this field does pop up. So it will allow you to put in a different message to go out to those SMS texts with a max of 160 characters. So this upgrade to the alert services further integrates Alertus and AlertAware in a more seamless way. The summer 2025 release also introduces the ability to send email notifications when offline devices come back online, thereby ensuring timely awareness of device status changes. It's important to note that when a device comes back online, the quiet time will be reset, which may allow the number of alerts over a period of time to be exceeded. So this feature does live in the notification and monitoring section of your Alertus server's middleware settings. So let me show you how to navigate there now. So I'm going to come down here to middleware. As an admin, I have access to this button, and it will take me to a separate tab of which I'm going to go to the Alertus middleware settings. On this left-hand side, we'll see something called notification and monitoring, which I will come down here to see. And then there is a new warning type here around devices with IP connectivity restored. I will turn that on and I will now save my settings. And we'll see that it has been successfully saved and it is still check marked here. So now I will get those notifications when IP connectivity is restored, or whoever's email address is in these will receive that. So if you want any of these warning notifications, make sure your email address is up here in the general tab. So enabling this warning type will further improve the ability to monitor and respond to device status changes. In addition, the device activation and device acknowledgement reports now feature updated bar graphs. So these updated graphs are more responsive and display tooltips when you mouse over them, making them more user-friendly and visually dynamic. So an even better ways now to visualize how your alerts are reaching your different audiences. And then to enhance system stability and streamline operations, we've actively worked on reducing technical dependencies by removing obsolete integrations. So this means we phased out several alert services that are no longer supported and have been replaced by more advanced solutions. So specifically, Alertus Mobile has been replaced by AlertAware. WebPush has been replaced by Alertus Desktop 7 for Chrome. Additionally, we've also obsoleted two integrations that have been discontinued by third parties. One is SwiftReach or Swift 911 and Synapse or SA Announce. As a result of these strategic removals, we've also eliminated related reports, pages, and system errors, leading to a cleaner and more efficient Alertus environment. So if you see anything that looks like this in your console, these are what the obsoleted alert services look like. Once again, these alert services will no longer function. They cannot be edited, but they can be deleted. So we do recommend deleting these obsolete alert services to keep your system clean and efficient. Next, we're going to look at the new notification features for the Rapid Response Console. So we are excited to introduce new notification features for the RRC, enabled by default once you update, designed to keep you informed. So with this update, a distinct sound will play in 3 different cases: if your network disconnects or the app loses connection to the server, when the network connectivity is restored, and whenever a new alert is active and sent, which provides immediate notification of important information and those critical events. You also have the flexibility to select an existing sound or upload a custom sound hosted on the Alertus server for these notifications. Please note that in order to upgrade your iPad to this version, it must first be removed from kiosk mode in the Apple accessibility settings. Then you can update the app in the App Store. And if you do need assistance with that, our tech support team is here to assist with that process. So this is what the screen will look like once you update the new RRC notification features. It allows you to choose different tones for each notification alert. You can also use this preview button here to on the right side to hear the sound prior to saving the new settings. And so these new RRC notification features will further enhance user control and experience, building more confidence that your system is there when you need it. And now during this final section with special notices, we're going to dive into some additional updates that have occurred since the initial winter 2025 software release. And we're also going to share valuable resources to help with your upgrading your server. So the first of our new features that occurred between this server release and the last server release is called cooldown. The cooldown minutes field is a significant enhancement to custom event triggers. So this feature is designed to prevent redundant actions by introducing a specified waiting period from the last trigger, which is particularly beneficial for frequently occurring events such as NOAA weather alerts or panic button presses. To ensure system accuracy, the last trigger time for custom event triggers will no longer update when test mode is active. So if we take a look now at this in our console, I'm going to go under Configure System to Custom Event Triggers. And if I go into any of my custom event triggers, I'm just going to go into this top one around my tornado warnings. You will see that there is a new field called cooldown minutes. So right here, if I wanted to say, I don't want a new alert for 5 minutes after that, then I can do that. And I can also read this tooltip as well. So ultimately, this update provides greater control and precision in managing your Alertus system. We also wanted to discuss a new feature that simplifies replacing alert beacons and IP AVAs when devices are repaired or swapped for updated versions. So this enhancement allows you to retain the old device's configuration while seamlessly integrating the new device ID. So you can replace devices individually by editing the old device and clicking the Replace Device button, or you can manage replacements in bulk by using the Bulk Replace Devices button on the Alert Devices page. So these are two screenshots of those buttons, but once again, I'll show you where those live. So if I go to Configure System, Alert Devices, I'll now see that there is a new button right here for Bulk Replace Devices. But I also can go into individually these devices themselves, and I will replace this individual device by just updating it with a new device ID. So this new functionality streamlines device management and ensures your system remains up to date with minimal effort. We have also introduced and improved notification and monitoring emails following the winter 2025 release. This enhancement allows you to send monitoring emails to any contact with an email address if they are assigned to the same group as a device reporting that problem. So once again, this will start in middleware. We will come here to Alertus middleware settings, device and notification and monitoring. And then there is a section here called notify contacts in device groups. So if I turn this on and then once again save my settings, I will be able to have any contacts that have an email address. So right now, this is my contact, this is my email address. If I add this to a group, so if I come down here to my test group and I have contacts here, I'm going to add my contact into this group. So now it lives in this group. If there are any errors for the devices also in the group, so these devices here, I will receive an email to my email address in my contacts page. So let me save this. And there we go. So you'll have to have on the notification and monitoring settings here, as well as make sure your group has been set up with the proper contacts and email addresses in there as well. So this feature continuously provides more flexibility by allowing notification and monitoring emails to be sent to different individuals depending on those specific devices. We also have introduced a new email alert service called Email Contacts in Group. This powerful feature allows you to dynamically send emails to those all contacts with email addresses in the specific group, ensuring your message reaches the right audience effectively and efficiently. So once again, in this group, you must make sure that you have contacts assigned. You must make sure that the contacts have an email address assigned to them as well. And then when you go up here to send that, you could say, all right, I'm going to send a system test to my alert beacons, but also I want people to get that email as well. And I will have to have created this alert service beforehand. So once I do that in alert services, I can either add it from scratch or once again, I'll just search for it. It's a little bit easier that way. I'll have my email right here. And you can see that I have given it a name, email notification for emergency alerting. It's coming from a specific address. So this is where it's coming from. You can either add them as BCC or as to. I've chosen BCC. And if there are any additional email addresses as well, I could add those in, as well as the subject line and any additional settings. So once this has been set up and you want to use that in your custom activation, you will just have your system test, you will have alert beacon and your email notification. You can see under there all of the settings that I already have created. And then I can choose just that specific group. So this specific group will get these emails here. If I wanted to change a different group, then this group will get the emails here. So it is a very dynamic alert service. We've also made some helpful updates to the locations page and exporting functionality. So now when you click the retrieve coordinates button, If multiple address matches are found, you'll be prompted to select the correct address to use. So this is an improvement from before when the coordinates of the first address were automatically used. So you can see a screenshot of this here, but then in addition, once again, in the console, I'll go down to locations. And if I want to add a new location here, I will click on add location, come down to add the address, and I'm going to choose our Alertus headquarters address, which fills in. And if I click this retrieve coordinates, I will see that there are two options here, and I'm going to want the one in Baltimore. And then I can add it that way. So exporting locations to CSV files is also possible here, providing even more comprehensive data and customization of your locations. So those are all of the updates with this most updated server for summer 2025. We're so excited for you all to explore this in your own Alertus console. We also want to emphasize that keeping your Alertus server updated is not just for bonus features or technical necessity, it's a critical step in maintaining the effectiveness and security of your Alertus solution. Upgrading your server allows you to take advantage of advanced assurance monitoring capabilities, empowering you to proactively identify and address any security issues that ensure that alerts are delivered effectively and reliably. So every year we have 2 major server releases, plus bug fixes and additional enhancements along the way. Once again, keeping your server updated ensures optimal performance as it allows you to benefit from the latest security features and advanced assurance monitoring capabilities. So as part of your licensing and support agreement, our team at Alertus Technical Support is here to help with the upgrade process to ensure a smooth transition. To make scheduling easy, we've set up a dedicated booking link where you can choose a time that works best for you. Simply visit this link to book a slot with our support team, and they'll guide you through the entire upgrade process, answer any questions that you may have, and ensure that everything is set up correctly. So don't hesitate to reach out and schedule your upgrade. We're here to assist you in any way. And now we have some time for questions. I know that Gary and Ben have been answering questions in the Q&A box as we go. But if you have any specific inquiries about the new features, integrations, or anything we've discussed today, now is the perfect time to ask. Whether it's about specific details or general clarifications, we're here to provide the answers that you need. So I'm going to stop sharing, and I will take a look inside of our Q&A box. It does look like there have been 11 questions that have been answered via text, and then there are some that are still being answered. Specifically, I see one, it says, what is the character message limit for the new digital signage? And Gary, it says you would like to answer this live.
Yes, thanks, Brooke.
Mhm.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so essentially, with the message limit, it uses the same limits for the alert display as our other Alertus alerts. So that's currently 1,200 characters. We have different layouts though in the alert display, and it kind of depends on your screen size. So if you're using the scrolling feature, I'd recommend if you're using a long message to use like a scrolling layout that would have like a ticker. So you could go up to 1,200 characters for that. If you're using a different layout, like perhaps one that is more static where the screen doesn't scroll, you might want to have a shorter message or ensure you have a larger screen, because it will try to shrink the fit, and it'll depend on your viewing distance. So that's essentially how it works there.
Great. Thank you, Gary. I am seeing some questions come in around the server upgrade link. Sarah just put that in the chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. Did you want to share about it?
Nope, that's all.
Oh,
I
okay,
put it in
great.
the chat. Hopefully everyone can see it. But yes, you can use that link to schedule your upgrade with the support team to take advantage of that with your active licensing and support agreement.
In addition, yes, as Sarah said, you must have an active licensing and support agreement. If you sign up for a slot but do not have one, it will be canceled. So just make sure that you're signing up for that. All right. I see another question that says, with the Algo phone call alert service and or alertware, can I send out text message or phone call to an individual cell phone when a panic button is activated?
Yeah, I can answer that one. So that alert service was kind of designed for a specific use case for a customer, really to kind of dial an extension. Um, I do not believe it can call a cell phone. Obviously alertware, we can do that. That's kind of the whole point of alertware is like personal recipient alerting. So if that's something you're interested in, we could you could integrate with that to do, phone call, SMS, app messaging, push notification, that kind of thing. But currently not with the algo service now.
Great, thank you, Gary. In addition, we have another question. Does Alertus allow the use of the multicolor speaker? I'm sorry, of multicolor with the Axis speaker?
I believe yes. So the Axis strobe sirens, they're very configurable. They have, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 different settings. You can control strobe patterns, different color ranges. So we really support anything that Axis device supports. We're just kind of making it available or accessible through the Alertus server. So I believe, yes, it can like alternate kind of colors if that's what you're asking, and you can have different profiles. Like you could have like a green color for like an all clear, or you can have a different color for different types of emergencies. I think that's what, if you're trying to do multiple colors at the same time, I have to check on that, but you certainly can, mix up different colors or have it like alternate during an alert.
Great, thank you, Gary. Next question, do the weather alerts require additional licensing? So with your standard support agreement and your standard license, you can get one type of weather alerts through NOAA. There are other additional weather alerts that you can get with additional licenses, but there is a standard one that our customers can receive. Gary, anything else to add to that?
Yeah, so if you're asking about general alerts, like Brooke said, we have something called Threat Watcher that will receive, you can set up NOAA alerts that way, and that is separate licensing. If you're talking about the alert display, we do have a feature to display current conditions and weather so that, people walking by can, kind of see what the weather is. That's currently US only, but we're certainly going to be looking to expand that to other areas. That's one of the first things we'll be doing. There's no additional license for that. So that would just be included in your alert display license.
Great, thanks, Gary. We have another question around the Axis strobe siren. So can the Axis strobe siren display just the colors without the audio alert?
Yes, absolutely. So we kind of have the way we handle this is two separate alert services. So we kind of have one for audio that, we can do multicast audio to any device that supports multicast audio. And this is a separate alert service that just does the visual. So you can combine them, you can do one or the other. You can have the audio, last longer, or the visual part, have a different duration. So yes, you can do that.
Great, thanks, Gary. All right, I don't see any other questions in the Q&A box. The answers to the rest of the questions, if you open up the Q&A box, you can see everyone's answers there. If you want to read through those before signing off. We'll stay on for a few more moments today in case there are any lingering questions, but definitely recommend doing this update as soon as possible. Use the booking link in the chat with your active service and support agreement. We're here to help, and if you have any additional questions, Sarah's also going to put our training team email in the chat. Feel free to send us any questions there as well. But that is all that we have. Like I said, we'll stay on for a few more moments, and thank you all so much for your time today. I do see another question that came in. Is there an Alertus integration with Centegix? I probably have said that wrong. Centegix. Gary or Brett or Ben, are you aware of an integration with this specific organization?
Yeah, it's called,
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced Centegix.
Centegix.
Sorry, go ahead, Ben, if you want to answer that.
Yeah, we actually just opened up discussions with Centegix in partnering, so we're exploring what we might be able to do with regard to an integration. And Luis, what I would encourage is, if you wouldn't mind, please reach out through your account manager and ask them to set up a meeting with me, because ultimately what I would like to do is capture your use case, because that would be very instructional to us to make sure that as we decide on what we're going to do with Centegix in partnering, to make sure that that's going to meet your ultimate end expectation.
Thank you, Ben. All right, once again, I don't see any other questions coming in. I did add the server book link in the Q&A feature if you have not been able to find it in the chat. But I think that's all that we have today. Once again, we'll stay on for just a few more moments in case there are any lingering questions. I do still see that there are some attendees. But thank you all again for your attendance today.